Hey there, Russell traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the Russell recap for July 26, 2013 and a weekly wrap-up for July 22nd. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only to support your knowledge in the market and see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and never move your stop when placing a trade. Getting right into our four major indices, we could see we had a pretty small open range, 25-minute open range on the three indices, a little bit wider on the NASDAQ. But again, each of them popping up in the afternoon sessions, offering some nice points. NQ really jumping up here, and the TF pretty much chopping along the side. Momentum drives, when I look below the 25-minute open range. We had three ES, YM, and the Russell. And then in the afternoon session, only the ES and the YM and the NQ popping above. Combining that with a 534 EMA or a 4 EMA, consisting of a 5, 13, 21, and 80 exponential moving average, would have kept you in the trade with Heiken Ashi candles. Just taking a look at the weekly summary, we could see that the TF broke above the weekly pivot and closed above. Our NQ on our weekly and monthly pivots drove well above the weekly pivot, almost to close up the weekly R1. The ES closing above the weekly pivot as well, and the YM driving up as well. Looking at the TF and the 25-minute open range on an EMA, nice move overnight with the Heiken Ashi candles also in sequence with the 4 EMA. A couple hours later, again, trading hours only, first entry at about post 1 hour of the open. Heiken Ashi candle dips below the 534 EMA. We're underneath the range, offering about a 30-tick drive. On the momentum of market internals as well, you had a 4 EMA crossover already, so that would keep you in the trade. Trade management, picking a line below, taking off contracts, or turning it around when the crossover of the EMA. No real trades towards the rest of the afternoon. So again, that nice little pop in the afternoon on the YM, the ES, TF really chopping along, and the NQ. Market internals with that drive down for 30 ticks, and then the afternoon finishing up with the market AD line really for the most part in the negative on the Russell, and the market breadth here we see in the first hour gave that drive down and leaving about market internals in the red for the most of the day. Taking a look at our pivot lines for the day, we can see that the daily gap above at 1051, and market internals, here we have the daily pivot, and price dipping below here on the daily S1, then jumping up and chopping up sideways. Here we could see on 30 minutes, again, that drive down at approximately post 1 hour, matching that up with the 25-minute open range offered for a 30-tick drive. The rest of the afternoon pretty much hanging on to that 30-minute pivot line, 1045 being the weekly pivot, as well as the CAM. Momentum drive, when I look for a momentum drive under 25-minute open range, I'm also going to see if it lines up with any candles coming under the CAM L4, and absolutely right here at 7:30 West Coast time, lining up with my 25-minute open range and underneath the S1 as well under daily pivot. Nice drive. That is a momentum drive. Throw in as many contracts as you trade with and take contracts off on the way down and bring your stop to break even and not lose any money. As we can see here on the 25-minute open range with my 1 hour open range set as well. Momentum drive right here underneath the 25-minute open range at 7:30, post 1 hour of the open with the approximately a 30-minute drive down, and chopping it for the most part the remainder of the day within the range. And again, looking at the EMAs, 25-minute open range breakdown, lining up exactly with the Heiken Ashi candles on the 4 EMA. Here would be my first bar entry, around 729. Majority of the bar closes under. Momentum drive 534 and coming all the way down. Looking at the weekly synopsis for most of the indices, you can see that several days starting on Tuesday, a nice drive down. Wednesday had the widest open range, a lot of chop action on the ES. A little afternoon session here with a pop up for some ticks, and again, the best action of the week right here on Friday with a nice jump above the 25-minute open range. On our YM, on a weekly recap, we could see that breakup on Monday with a lot of sideways chop, not much action on Monday. Tuesday following suit with the ES. Wednesday with a nice drop below, coming back inside. And nice move on Thursday, popping above the 25-minute open range here. And the best move of the day from a low of 15,344 around to a high of 15,509. 200-point drive here, very nice. Again, waiting for a break above the 25-minute open range and placing that stop. NASDAQ really had a nice week. A little choppy action inside the range here. The best drop of the day right here on Tuesday. Wednesday coming back inside the range, drop down below. And again, Thursday, not as good of a day as finishing up on Friday with a nice break above the 25-minute open range and all momentum. And again, when I'm looking at these, I'm looking at five-minute bar charts. What keeps me in the trade longer are my range charts. Doesn't have all this choppy action with a Heikin Ashi. Sure looks, takes on a different picture. And then looking at our Russell, I didn't seem to manage to put any of my weekly recap. Let's go ahead and throw that on. And open range. And here we go. So again, the Russell having a nice, not such a great Monday as everybody else, but again, momentum drive here in the opening. A couple momentum drives, momentum down on Tuesday. Wednesday, again, following other suits of the other indices. A nice drive down here. Wednesday popping up, and on Friday coming down underneath the open range for about 30-tick drive, and then the rest of the day finishing up chop action sideways. So not a bad day for a small drive down. Again, the ES and the YM had a much better look for a Friday, and our weekly outlook for daily pivots and monthly pivots will be posted on Sunday, and look forward to having either as good of a week or better as a week next week. So that concludes today's wrap and weekly wrap up for our 4 major indices. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of know one thing and know it well rings true for all markets. Hey, I can only keep my finger on one trigger at a time. That's the Russell. If Russell's not having a good day, maybe the ES, the YM, as you saw, the NQ was having better days. Same philosophy, same discipline. Maybe you trade one of those. My plan will keep you right in it. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs. And as always, hey, I let everybody else figure out what's going to happen tomorrow. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts. Have a great weekend, and see you next week.